Hey guys, so it's Sechi, and today I'm going to be doing a sort of guide, or yeah, I guess a guide on my personal ideas on the Falcon versus Falco neutral game at the moment. And obviously, my ideas on the neutral game might change, but these are my current ideas rather. So first of all, I think the most important thing to do against Falco in neutral is learn to dash between lasers, because Falcon has such a long dash dance available to him. He can close a lot of space. So if I take a laser, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I take a laser and then dash forward, by the time I get hit by the next laser, I'll be way closer to them. So I'll be like that. So you just want to get used to just basically get Falco to keep shooting lasers like this, and then you can just practice dashing between the lasers when you're out of the end lag, and you'll be able to get across the stage pretty quickly and whatnot. So you can also throw off this spacing with a wave dash at a shield. So you can run up and then hold shield in place, and then you can wave dash out a shield to start moving again in neutral, and this way you won't have to take any laser damage, so that's pretty useful. So I say get used to that as well. But then if you're going to use shield in neutral like this, you need to be very aware of the spacing at which they can just hit you in your wave dash back. So I've got a save state here where Falco is going to laser and then approach with an aerial, and Falcon wave dashes back to avoid it. You want to stay in this sort of spacing, because if you get any closer, then he's just able to hit you. He's just able to catch you in your wave dash back. And then, yeah, I'll just go on to the next save state I got, which is using dash back after lasers to avoid laser aerial approaches. So, as you can see, Falcon takes a laser, and it looks as if Falco is going to be able to combo, but just before he's hit by the Nair, Falcon is actually able to turn around and dash back to avoid the Nair, and then whiff punish with a grab. So in this situation, Falco did a fast fall Nair. Now, even if he didn't fast fall Nair, so let's say Falco just kept drifting forward, no fast fall, then Falcon would get hit by the late Nair, but he can just crouch cancel that and then grab him again anyway. So it's you should be fine against both hits of Nair unless you're not able to crouch cancel. Anyway, so the next save state is on. Oh yeah, so if you do this dash back, they can chase your dash back down with another laser, which if you then go to grab or whatever, you will just get hit by this chase down laser, and then Falco will have more stage on you, and you'll just be in a worse position, and he'll have a pretty good frame advantage over you. So there's a few things you can do against this. First of all, you don't have to do the grab. You don't have to do the grab preemptively. You can do it on reaction to the fact that Falco jumped forward with an aerial. So that means that you can react to the fact that you jumped forward with a laser, and instead you can do a pivot power shield. And I've actually done this before, and I try to do it because I think it's a very useful tool, because it basically means that Falco cannot sort of force his advantage nearly as hard. So basically you just do a pivot power shield, and then you just go from the power shield and then try to force your advantage better rather. So power shield nair or power shield grab or power shield wave dash, depending on the spacing. So you can also, even if you're in shield or whatever, or in crouch or in stand, you can also catch his chase in laser like this with an aerial. So a nair or a up air or a, yeah, mainly a nair or up air really. Nair at low percent, and then yeah. So as you can see, you can also catch it with a nair in place. But obviously if he does an aerial, then you're going to get hit, which is why you want to avoid that. Also, something I forgot to say is I'm not really going to be going over platform stuff as much in this video, because that would take too long. Because there's a lot of times where you'd want to go to platforms to try and reset neutral, and I'm not going to talk about that stuff. So next clip I've got instant double jump in neutral against Falco. So you see Wizrobe do this a lot, especially where he'll take a laser, whether it be on shield, in crouch, or in stand, and then he'll do an instant double jump, and that way you can avoid the next laser, and then if they shoot another laser after that, you can actually catch them in the startup with a falling aerial. So in this case, he does an up air. So the thing is that when you do this instant double jump, you are able to drift as you like right now. So you can drift to the left, you can drift to the right, and you can mix up your fast fall timing. So there's a lot of potential mix-ups out of it, which is good. But then, let's say your opponent, after this second laser, so after this laser, they react to the fact that you've done this instant double jump, and then they do a back air or something. So like this, they'll do a back air. Well, what you want to do now is, or instead of a back air, maybe they up tilt. So then what you can do is, you can actually just drift back, and then do a fast fall, and then tomahawk around it, and then that way you can react to the fact that they did the up tilt or the back air, and then whiff punish them with a grab, like that. And I call this a Sechi jump because I don't really see it done much by like other people, so I'm taking it. Well, yeah, that's what I'm always going to call it anyway. So that's just a really good mix-up in neutral that you can do to sort of play reactively to the fact that your opponent's putting up a defensive tool. So yeah, I'd get used to using that, not just in this situation, but you can just use it in raw and neutral against other defensive tools. Anyway, next is crouch, and how crouch can help you in neutral. So crouch takes the frame advantage, or the frame, so you usually receive 12 frames of hit stun from laser. When you crouch it, you only have 7 frames. And by the way, when I say hit stun, I mean just overall stun. So 12 frames of stun usually, and then when you crouch it, you receive 7 frames instead. So you are 5 frames better off if you crouch a laser due to crouch armor. And this means that you can. This wouldn't have worked if Falcon didn't crouch. So what Falcon does here is he takes the laser in crouch, and then he does a dash forward nair, and he'll go over a mid laser, and then he catches the Falco in the startup of another laser because the Falco couldn't have reacted in time, and then he gets the nair off of it. So obviously this is risky. You'll want to space it or cross up potentially, because if they shield or if they up tilt or whatever, it's risky, but it's just something you can use. I wouldn't spam it, but as an occasional mix-up, it's pretty good. Same thing as the instant double jump, actually. I think Wizrobe actually uses it too much, at least in my opinion. Obviously he's a better player, but I personally think he uses it too much. I'd stay far more grounded, relying more on on dashing between lasers, on using shields intelligently, and then wave dashing at shield, and things like that. So, anyway, what save state was that? That was that. You can also use because you can't crouch when you are in your dash, obviously. So if you're dashing between lasers, then you're not able to set up any of those crouch situations. So what you can do is you can shield a laser and then wave dash out of shield into a crouch, which will give you the 7 frames off of the hit stun, at which point you can then do something with the crouch advantage, like the nair I just showed, or a dash back Lord Stomp if they're approaching, or a dash back air, which work better off of crouch than they do off getting hit normally. Also, if you shield a laser, that will also have 7 frames of stun, not the 12 on hit. So yeah, so you can just do that. And then last but not least, yeah, this is just the wave dash spacing I was showing earlier. So just be smart when you do your wave dashing and whatnot. Keep in mind your opponent's position, because you do not want to wave dash into them or be in shield in a position where they can catch your wave dash. Also, if you do the wave dash back and they chase that down with a laser, the same thing applies as before. You can try to power shield the chase down laser, or you could try to just stuff them in the air stuff them with like a nair from the shield, rather than doing the wave dash back. And that's a mix-up. It's not quite 50-50, but it's a mix-up you can play into. Also, before I close out the video, this instant double jump can also be used as an approach option. So you can use it as like to catch your opponent in their dash stance, and this doesn't just apply to Falco, but you can use it to catch their dash back because your opponent will usually expect the instant fast fall out of the instant double jump like this. They'll usually expect this, so that if you just mix that up occasionally and just do a no fast fall, and then you just drift in with an aerial, then you'll be further into their dash dance if they are dash dancing, and they will expect it and they'll be caught out of it. Um, anyway, I think that's about it for my basic. This isn't quite basic, but this is a breakdown on Falcon versus Falco neutral as I currently see it. Obviously, things could change and I could have different ideas in the future, but this is currently how I play the matchup in neutral for the most part. I hope it's useful. I'll see you all in the next video.